Alright, welcome to another gladiator sounds video. This is Stanley Bravo, I really like it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I did not enter the door on my left.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
No.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh yeah.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Yes, I did. I drank it in. Oh, look at this. Ah, cool.
Yes, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, I didn't. I did not take it. I like it.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Yeah, totally. Translate from Mysteries of Gaga left. Oh.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Yep.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone
Really?
you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Who have I been
Someone
neglecting?
you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who's her? Oh God. Who
This
is it?
Stanley? Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
She's a smoker.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this.
Okay, picks up the phone. It's gone my. What's happened? Is this her
Oh,
apartment?
Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All
Okay.
right. Okay, there we go. All right, now,
Come on,
I want you to
beautiful.
come in and tell me all about your
Gotcha!
Oh.
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
No.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Oh, okay.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What? No. Oh God.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands
Yep.
nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
No, I'm not gonna press C. No, I'm not.
Look at
Alright
him
then.
there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going
Oh
home.
God.
Now he's coming
It's a
back
wife
to
ending.
work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job.
What TV?
First, he imagined that one day while
can't
at
see
work,
any
he
TV.
stepped up from his
Clark, I
desk to
thought you were
realize
my
that all
friend.
of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Okay.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful.
Wonderful! God.
As he wandered through
shit.
this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous
God.
round room with
been
monitors
year
and
one.
mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful
God.
fantasy, and
Let
so
me
in
out
his
of
head
here.
he
I
relived
can't
it
get out.
again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always
my
has.
office. Yes,
Nothing has
I'm
changed.
surely looking
The longer he spends here,
like
the
my
more
office.
invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
I'm not gonna press it. I ain't gonna press that button. I'm not pressing it. Oh well.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And
I call that the wife ending, where you die at the very end.
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Or maybe I can go out the window.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
And I can go outside. Woohoo, bitches!
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
Is it
He
now?
then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
No.
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky.
Okay.
Well, now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Nothing to do here. Alright, let's just begin the game again. So that's the boring ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Don't know.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Go listen to him. But we're gonna go downstairs.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Okay.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We are not going down there. Is this a button? No, it isn't.
But Stanley just couldn't do
Oh
it.
no.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming!
To be fair.
He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone.
Nope.
He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
No.
And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring
He's the only
real-life job
person
pushing
who can
buttons.
fix this.
I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So,
Where the
he
hell's
imagined
Clark?
himself flying and began to gently
Clark,
float
there you
above the
are.
ground.
I'm a wizard,
Then
Clark.
he imagined
Clark,
himself
I'm a
soaring
wizard.
through space on a magical
No.
starfield, and it too
Clark,
occurred.
help.
It was so much
You traitor.
fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
This is
How was he
amazing.
remaining so lucid?
We need to find
And
Clark
then perhaps
in
the
the real world
strangest
like this.
question
There
of
we
them
go.
all entered Stanley's
Clark.
head. One he was amazed
he
he hadn't
doing?
asked himself sooner.
You're meant to
Why
help.
is there a voice in my
Different
head
times, 1, 2, 4,
dictating
B,
everything
1, 2,
that
4.
I'm doing and thinking?
God damn it.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm
Strange.
dreaming about a voice describing me,
This is a dream,
thinking
'cause
about
Clark
how it's
would have helped
describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very
what
odd
was that?
and wondered if this
I
voice
saw
spoke
these
to all
particles.
people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How
This
could
wasn't.
it be?
Oh god.
Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
God damn
Stanley
it.
is as awake right now as he's ever been in his
Oh,
life.
scheiße.
Now, hearing the
Scheiße.
voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all,
God damn it.
he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this
Come
was
on,
in fact
come
a
on.
dream. Did
Gets
the
on the
voice
car.
not see him float and make
Drive
the
the
magical
car through
stars
the
just a
wall.
moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, surely, if he could just...
Stanley voice.
He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
Okay.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake
traitor.
up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over.
I wish it to be over.
Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want.
It is.
I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Clock. Why am I not awake? You monster.
Stanley began screaming. Please,
Please, someone wake me up. My
name
name is Gladiator Anderson.
I have a boss.
I'm
I have an
boss.
office.
I
I
have
am
an
real.
office. I'm real.
Please, just someone
Clock,
tell me I am
I'm
real.
coming for
I
you.
must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Oh,
You're my clock. Ah!
And everything went black.
Shit.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would
Poor
soon
Stanley.
turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments,
just
she
Stanley.
considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
How?
Then she
He's
remembered the
dead.
meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Alright. Here we go again.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers,
What
Stanley
the-
thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay. Let's let's try and turn every computer off. Inputs, I've gave an input. I believe we must give more inputs. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, it's right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes.
Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so
Okay.
he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
No! I went down here. Like any normal person would.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, From here, it's, Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
Okay.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right?
Yeah.
What was I thinking?
This door
It's
maybe
clearly...
Yeah.
Oh dear, would you hold
Open
on?
the door now! I need to get through!
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right.
Up B, A,
Yep,
B,
okay,
start.
okay,
Unlimited
yes.
lives.
I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Okay. Alright. Oh.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here
No.
yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding?
Yeah.
It's all rubbish now. The
It
whole
is.
story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
No! God damn it. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's do that again, okay? Do all that again. Alright?
When Stanley... Wait.
Huh?
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere?
No, I did
or-
press a button.
Hold on.
I did do it in
Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Go up here. Oh my god, this is the best adventure ever. Here we go. Adventure awaits. We're getting somewhere.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before.
Yep.
Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
No. God damn it, someone else but not Stephen Fry. Clark, you traitor. I'll never forgive Clark.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yes, maybe I just missed a memo.
Okay, yep,
Okay,
it's
seriously.
worse. I might be remembering this
damn
wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe, yeah. Stop it, cats. Bad cat.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story.
God damn it.
Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Okay, this is...
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
Yep.
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Oh, yeah!
Congratulations!
Oh, yeah. Get a book next now.
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't feel right about this at all.
Well, I
We
do.
both know
So
you didn't
shut
put in
the
any
frick
actual
up
work
and
for that win.
dance.
Some people
Stephen
win
Fry.
fair and square, and this was not one of those
Look at the
situations.
wooden board. Look,
Okay?
look.
I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Please don't. Okay. The adventure
All right,
line.
I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we
Where's-
don't
where
get
does it
lost,
say TM?
I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line.
Trademarks.
How simple is that?
For this once, let's not follow it. Wait, let's not follow it. No. No.
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
No, we are not leaving the line. We're not leaving it up to the line. But we're gonna have to, aren't we? Okay. Okay. We need
You
some
see,
music.
the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
Okay.
Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to apologize.
Oh.
Not sure where I was going with all that.
Let's follow
You
it.
know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Oh yeah. Adventure line, just like the stop the line, go the other way, the walls on the ceiling, everybody's meaning rap alive, every bill, Whoa. This is super awesome, right?
Cut the music.
Okay.
Go back and look at that fern.
No, I'm just not.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Mm-hmm. Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
No! You monster! Okay.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us?
Yes,
We're
what has it?
intelligent people, right? Why can't we make
Maybe.
up our
You're
own
not,
story?
but I am.
Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Ooh. You're breaking the rules, Stephen Fur.
Now, yes,
Yes.
this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
About
Go
dragons.
wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
What the fuck? Mindfuck.
Oh, no,
Oh,
not you
fucking
again.
Line, why have
Stanley,
you been here?
I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story.
Yeah.
No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I'm following it though. Just the adventure line is amazing. No, why you leave me? Adventure line.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Wait.